Yeah, Trey. All right, so I ain't doing no intros or anything, but I had to address this. Some of y'all are probably gonna be like, "Oh, Jibbington, what gives you the credibility? You're not even at 10K." Fuck you. That's all I had to say about that. All right, motherfuckers actually have jobs out here, unlike half of y'all children who are playing this game. So I'm a busy motherfucker. You know, I had to move into my new place, and I actually got bills to pay. All right, so get up off my dick. Plus, I didn't even want to go 10K yet. All right, I haven't even grinded for that shit yet. When I want to go 10K, I'll get to 10K. All right, y'all will know. But until then, yes, Lord. All right, coming in with game number 1 here. We got my current deck, a little motherfucking goblin hut cycle yoink. So coming in hot. I'm nervous as soon as I see these little cannoneer towers. Whenever someone has the towers on, I know they're a fucking gemmer. So instantly the nerves are up. Come in here. I like to do this a lot. We tank the miner with the knight. I do not associate with miners in any way, but yeah, it's a good way to get some chip damage. Right here, you know, I can see, all right, he's got some form of log cycle. Old Dark Goblin in, probably one of my least favorite fucking cards to play against. Until he pulls out the goddamn boss bandit, which should not be in this game. It makes no fucking sense. I completely botched that log, as you can see. And it's just not a fair card, because you're always going to be spending more than, you know, 6 elixir, even with the 2, even, you know, 8 elixir for the ability. It's just not fucking fair. Once again, right here, low-key botched my bats, lost a couple because I fucked it up and let the wall breakers, you know, kill that shit. So I instantly thought that I lost, but regardless, you know, I usually would close the app by now, but I'm like, fuck it, you know, let's go for it. As you can tell, I am visually pissed off, but, you know, why quit? You know, when in doubt, just start flexing. I had to hit him with that emote. If he doesn't respond with it, that means he probably doesn't have it, which means he's a fucking shitter. So anyways, you know, just playing the game and get some good value on that. Well, never mind. I fucking missed that. Yeah, so it's really not looking good for me here. You know, I've done basically no damage and he's already almost got a tower. So it's not looking good. But I'm fucking Jibbington. So I turn shit around. You know, that's just what we do. We're going to get value. We're always going to make it work out. You can see he gets a hit here. Look at that. I mean, no one else is coming back from this shit except motherfucking Riley, but he's a virgin, so it doesn't count. So we come in with a very hot push. He botches that boss man replacement. You get a little bit of damage, but it's not enough yet, you know. Place the knight there, so boss bandit does not get her charge ability. And then, you know, just continuing to cycle through, not letting those wall breakers or that suspicious bush hit. And that shit does damage for real. Now you can see I'm not too worried about that left side. So, you know, just shutting down that Dark Goblin. And I can tell by now he does not have barrel, so I'm going to use my log on that. You just drop the Goblin Hut right on those bitches. You know, you're never going to get value when you're defending wall breakers, but you just can't let it go. That's how it's at least. So yeah, still not looking great, but the game is far from over. Right here in this scenario, you need to just drop the hut right on those things to shut down the wall breakers and open the door. You know, you might want to get a nice little pull there, but no, just shut it down. So right here, as you can see, that wall breaker hit is huge. Now you can tell he's scared. You know, I'm up on elixir, we're close in damage, and I have all the momentum. See that I'm not letting that spear goblin hit though. No chance, never. So now I'm feeling good, and I'm like, I think I'm doing this game. Right here, coming with a very horny push, shut that shit down, and you get fucking shit on. Had to start flexing the next day. All right, game number 2 coming in. I'm running the same deck, and I want to show you how to shut down the E-Golem deck, the classic E-Golem deck. I run it, so I know how to play against it, but it is a very scary deck to play against. You know, as soon as he drops those barbs, I know it's either Lava Hound or E-Golem. And then the second that E-Dragon comes out, you know, you already instantly know. Same as a battle healer, you know. So yeah, you know, I'm showing my ran, you know, basically say fuck you. I know what you're running. See, the battle healer comes out, I know exactly what it is. So the key here is that you gotta know that this is a 3-crown deck. So you got to play it like that. You know, I'm playing a 1 crown deck because it's cycle, it's light, it's fast. So a lot of the times I'm going to get a tower and I'm going to feel confident, but he's just going to give me that tower. And, you know, you got to know that just so you can expect the unexpected, I guess. So you got to play your elixir very smart when you're playing against a 3 crown deck because, you know, you got to balance letting them set up their push and also getting damage, you know, offense and defense. You got to find the balance. So right here, he's going to disregard that, which is exactly what I would have done. He's going to set up his push. You know, I'm going to drop these wall breakers right here. And once again, he's just going to let that hit because, you know, he's got to save his elixir for, he's going for 3 right here, you know, at least 1 and some change. Now, here is the secret with this deck. I really wanted to poison the E-Drag and the Battle Healer, and I normally would, but the Battle Healer is hitting, which means it's going to keep killing the E-Drag, and that poison is going to do absolutely nothing. So after I shut down that E-Golem, all I have to do, this is the secret, is hold the E-Dragon high, okay? Your goal is to separate, you know, you kind of need a building for this deck. You know, I say good game here because I figured it out, you know, I know how to stop it. But your goal is to separate the E-Golem, the Battle Healer, and the E-Drag. But the most important thing to separate of those 3 is the Evo E-Drag because, you know, you can just keep placing troops and it's just going to get more and more value. You know, it's an extremely broken card. So see, I'm going to come in with the Miner up here just to hold it high. You know, just constantly hold it high. He fucked up this push, by the way. You're not supposed to push the deck he's running without the Evo. He's pushing it with the non-Evo right now because he hadn't cycled. So he kind of lost the game himself. Like, he's not very good at this deck, in all honesty. I'm way fucking better than him at it. But, you know, now he's just getting horny. I already have a defense established. And it's too late. The game's over. See, I'm holding it high with that Miner. But the takeaway here is never let the E-Drag lock up. Got to keep it separated, always hold it high. All right, now coming in with game 3, this is actually a clan war battle, but this is the this is me running my version of the E-Golem deck, you know, because I just showed you how to shut it down, but now I want to show you how to use it. So once again, your key here is you never push without the E-Drag and Evo on, and you're gonna let a lot hit. So, you know, I'm playing a log bait deck, not like the best version of log bait. This dude's kind of a bum. But, you know, I would say it's a pretty even matchup between these 2 decks where the better player is going to win. You know, you could win with log bait or you could win with E-Golem. It just comes down to the better player. And he has Bomb Tower, which is going to help him a lot more than Inferno with this deck. So I guess I'm just fucking better than him. Okay, so you can see I normally wouldn't drop that E-Drag there, but I need to cycle it and I need to save my barrel for, you know, the Goblin Barrel. So just make sure whenever you're playing log deck, only use your log on Goblin Barrel. You know, you're going to want to play it on fucking Dark Goblins so badly, but you can't. It's, you know, you have to shut down the Goblin Barrel with the log. Or Barbarian Barrel, because, you know, you can counter Dark Goblin otherwise. Anyways, I am going to let that hit. See, I already said good game because I know it's over. I'm going to give him this chip damage. It doesn't matter to me right now. This is a 3 crown deck, and I already know I'm going to 3 crown him because we're tied on Elixir, but I have my entire push set up. Now, this was smart of him. He knows what I'm doing, so I have to play my barbs here. I really did not want to, but it's still enough, you know, like I still know I'm going to win this game because now I have barbs on one lane, my other lane has the push set up, and I finally can drop my E-Drag. I have enough elixir, and as you can see, he botched his bomb tower, to be fair, but this game was already over because once I have that elixir ready with my, you know, my cycle ready with the E-Drag Evo, it doesn't matter what chip damage he's doing. It doesn't matter if he's a tower. You know, that Battle Healer E-Golem combo is just gonna fucking shred while the E-Drag is just taking it. So, probably my favorite deck to run. It's a really fun deck to play. Pretty high skill, but you learn it pretty quick.